Bring back up, we have Mark Anthony. I be wanting to say Mark Anthony. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Mark Anthony and Corvaya. They sit and talk. She asked him, how do you feel? Oh, how do you feel about you spoiling a woman or spoiling a woman in your life? He replies with, I give to you what you earn. She responds with, you're scaring me. Um, and she says, so I have to prove my worth to you to be spoiled. And he's like, on
Yeah.
his green screen, he says that spoiling is not a good thing, and it gives off a red flag about Corvea, and that it's giving gold digger-ish from her. So Corvea and Mark Anthony and their date, what do you feel about that and what she says about that, him saying she's getting gold digger vibes? I know y'all. I know J Dub. You want to start? I know you
Mhm.
have something to say.
Yeah, I'm busting at the seams, but no, I'm gonna wait because I usually have the unpopular, cynical opinion, so I'm gonna give people a chance, and then I'm gonna get in there.
All right. Who
Well,
wants?
let me dive right
No,
on
no,
in. Let me
you
just
need to
dive
go
in.
because we don't know if you changing your opinion. I want to
Oh,
hear what you got to say.
excuse me, Sabrina 3.0. I definitely don't duck and hide. Since you running the show, so I'm gonna go first. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Ooh, woo. Let me take the time. Now, I'm gonna say this is just like Blake. Corvea has, to me, shown who she was. I thought she was going to be a fan favorite. I thought she was just nice and sweet, and it does to me. I share this sentiment just like Mark Anthony. I feel like it's a gold diggerish vibe because I like Fabrice, instead of sex being at the forefront, it's about like talking about material things off the jump. Now, granted, I'm definitely not talking about Linda not living in his own place. She has every right to feel that way or want that requirement, but it was all about the way she says it. And in this conversation with Mark Anthony, it almost comes off entitled because to some men or most men to say like, oh well, you know, you need to spoil me and I don't have to earn anything, or you just supposed to give because I'm a beautiful Afro Latina lady, just because maybe you have some extra money, just you're supposed to give it to me because you're in my presence. That's what it feels
Right.
like, and that doesn't feel good. I don't
Yeah.
owe you anything but to be myself, try to connect with you, and see how we can go. Yeah, if she has standards is fine, but it's all the way you say things and project things. Like I said, it feels gold diggerish. There's nothing wrong with standards.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a very, very superficial relationship, right? Because if you say spoil, right, and I start spoiling, and then I need a return on the investment, right? And then what happens is that just becomes a one-way deal. You're spoiling, and then you're taking, the treasure, or as the pirates used to call it, booty, right? You're taking you're taking that, and then it's a fair exchange program, and then you really never get nowhere because there's no substance to that. Why should I just show up on the scene and just start spoiling anybody? Like, then if you do one, you got to do them all. Like, what? So why? I mean, what are you missing in life that you feel like you know this is the way, or this is the appropriate way to date a man and have a serious relationship? Like, what what is gone now? I'll just say the flip side to that is maybe what was said was contextual. I don't know, but to me, just straight off the bat, that would just give me a sour stomach, and I'd probably be out. That would be checkout time. I'm ready to go.
So to piggyback on what you said, J Dub, okay, you
Mhm.
said something about her being Latin. So in the Latin culture, that is how it goes. Like women are used to getting gifts, they're used to getting spoiled. Like that's how they're raised, that the man takes care of the woman. So that could be a cultural thing for her. I feel like, the show does use these kind of conversations and it brings about conversations like this. I think that on a dating show, it may come off gold diggish, but it's not. If that's her love language, maybe she's just expressing and she wants to know, hey, if you buy gifts, maybe that's going to determine if she's interested in him or not. That could be her love language. But I think they come across gold diggerish if you're on a dating show and you're trying to get to know a guy.
And Sharice, if Corvaya put it that way, I could absorb that. So I like the way you put it, because that's a preference. That's a culture or an environment. You can say, hey, you know what? I don't want anything to do with your culture, or I understand exactly where you're coming from. I may not be the right man for you, or you know what?
I
I
think she was
love
clear what she
showering
said.
women with gifts.
Right.
You
Some
said
guys
what?
like that, or you might be like, listen, like how he said,
Right.
it's negotiable. I don't know, you know.
Right,
You
but
gotta-
right, but I think she's been clear. I think she's been clear in what she's saying. I just don't like hearing it because that's not necessarily the politically correct thing to say or the way to say it. But I think she's been clear. She said, "Listen, I want to," because she said, "Beginner living by herself." She said, in her mind, if you live with somebody, that means you can't afford to live alone. That's what translates in her mind. It doesn't mean it's true, but that's her thought. She said the same thing about the gift. She said, listen, I buy myself nice things. I maintain a certain lifestyle for myself. And so I need to date a man who I feel comfortable can maintain the lifestyle that I have created for myself. Now,
Right.
some of us might say that is gold digger-ish, but she said, listen, I go out on the yacht once a month. That's what I do. I try first class. I do this, I do that. If that's the lifestyle she's created for herself and she expects the man that she dates to be able to provide that, she's just being clear and upfront and saying, this is what I'm looking for. And maybe isn't the place for me to find the love I'm looking for, but this is the type of man, and I don't know if that's necessarily gold diggerish as it is. This is the life I've created for myself, and this is what I want. I don't know. I didn't take it as gold digger.
But
I just think I
this
think
is the
I think
standard
that
I'm
that's a
setting.
bad lead. That's a bad lead, though, to come from the door and tell somebody in your first conversation that you about to have to spoil me and give me everything I want.
I don't know you, lady.
Well,
But
what
Say
about,
give me
again,
everything I want.
what about
She
men
said,
who say they want
she
not
said,
unlimited
they did say
sex?
spoil
You
me and
know,
buy me stuff.
you guys will get hot. You know, we'll get offended if you say something about sex, but then when we say something about money, you guys get offended.
You see what I just said at the very beginning. It's going to be a trade off of a trade off. It's going to be
transaction.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So here's my take on it. My take is that I don't see anything wrong with what she's conveying, right? She's saying what she likes, whatever. I think I had to go back and look at her age, and I think that probably it's just coming off to us because, you know, this is a serious dating show, as maybe like a little immature how she's presenting it. But it's nothing wrong with her having her standards for herself. We all got standards for ourselves. Like it's like for me, as I watch her, I'll be like, well, I'm proud of her for standing on her views and standing in it and going hard for it. But then it's how it comes out sometimes where I'll be like, sis, you know, like we probably could have phrased that better. But then again, you know, I agree. Like somebody like me, I have kids, you know, I've worked hard to get to where I am. I'm not about to meet somebody that's going to take me under and where I'm doing worse off with you than what I do by myself. I'm not about to do that. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
She was like, I'm not going to go back.
Let me
Pio, let me get in there for you. You didn't took everybody's
Okay.
turn. Let me get one in. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, I'm gonna steal it. Everybody's pretty much saying the same thing, meaning like they can say, "Oh, we understand what she's saying," but delivery. So you have to address that delivery part because we can't get away with saying, "Oh, this is just the way I am. This is just the way I."
But
this is how I feel.
I
'Cause you
address
can- oh,
it.
excuse me, Stacy B. If I say, Stacy, I'm taking you out on Saturday, it is different from saying I would like to take you out on Saturday. It's two different ways.
I would decline both of them.
Thing. Yeah. Well,
and I know all about delivery, brother.
Oh yeah, that's PO exactly. So yeah,
Once again,
we can't get away from that. Regardless of how old she is, whatever culture she has or what she's used to, she needs to present that in a way that's conducive with this show. You know,
yeah, because
there's plenty of
this
ballers
would
in Miami. She shouldn't need to be on this show.
What, though?
She on the
You know,
yacht.
She gotta find
here's
another
the
way
thing,
to find out if he got some money. Period.
Yeah.
But he
And-
might already be that guy. He might already be the spoiling type. And it's just kind of like, you know, It's just like if a
Finesse, you
woman,
wanted to finesse it, yo. You need to be
I mean,
finesse to
Yeah.
get your.
you have to be tactical about it. You know, you can't just be like, okay, yeah, give me the wallet or whatever, because it's like, well, damn, that's it?
Right.
I mean, I would have done this anyway, but
Mhm.
since you had put it like that, I don't want to do it at all now.
It's not what you say, but
It
how
just
you say it.
Right,
it just starts to feel a little like transactional, you know?
right,
Like I get it, I understand. And I know that once you've built yourself up to a certain standard, like you don't want to go back because you know what that feels like. Do you know what I
right.
mean? And it may be a dude that would be like, you know what, shoes, trips, that's nothing. You know what I mean? I'll give you that.
Sugar
But
daddy.
what comes after that? Where's the substance that comes after that that's gonna keep you there?
You
You
get
know
the
what I mean?
I can
Like,
tell you,
take you the
no,
Oh, WAP.
you know what I
I'm sorry.
mean? No, I
you know,
feel you.
and no, honestly, it is the delivery. And sometimes, like, we don't always have to say everything that we like, that we want or that we require. I think like the right man for you will know you and understand you, will get to know you and know you, and he will naturally want to be that protector and that provider. And he will naturally treat you like the queen that you are. So, you know, I wholeheartedly believe that. So
Yeah.
I'm
And I
with
know
both the
dudes,
men and the women.
yeah, I know dudes that aren't against that, you know, having a housewife, right? I take care of you, you take care of all this. Easy. That's how we work. This is exactly what I need you for. But then, like, I also feel like there's dudes that will come off the same way, but we won't necessarily say it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain standard of a woman that we want, and we won't go below that no matter what. But we probably just
Right.
won't say that out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well,
everybody's on the same page for real.
Yeah.
prepare yourself as a woman.
Hey,
If you're a good man, you don't have to ask him for anything. If he loves you, you know, you don't. A woman who has her own should never have to ask for anything.
right?
And when
You
it
don't
comes,
have to.
you have to just be around a man and see. Like, I know I have a lifestyle that may be intimidating. There's a lot of things that I do that I can do with my friends that I know some guys may not want to do. They may not want to go lay out and tan all day, have brunch, and be on a yacht and all this and that. But I can afford to do that, you know? So it's about if you're looking for a sugar daddy. No, let me stop.
Thank you, Sharice. It's coming out. Absolutely, yes. It's sugar daddy vibes. Transactional. It might borderline escort if we're gonna get for
On a
real.
dating show
My
right away,
God.
you don't want to be talking about gifts and stuff right away. Not unless you put it like a love language type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Now she
Hey,
mentioned gifts was
Yeah.
her love
Now that's what I'm
language.
saying.
That
Like,
would be
I
something
agree.
different.
Yeah, I agree. She probably shouldn't have led with that. But I'm just saying, I feel like she was just, you know. But I agree. She probably shouldn't have led with it, you know.
Mhm.
Horrible lead.